Let's say you were given the option, like we keep the exact government we have now, or we switch over to a democracy, meaning that we get rid of Congress and everybody votes directly on laws.
Yeah.
Like a part of that is attractive to me because it cuts out that corruption. And if you look at polls, like a large percentage of Americans like do take like um progressive stances on things, like they want like
Gun
universal
laws.
health care and gun laws and stuff like that. So part of me wonders, would that be better? But then a part of me is so scared because a lot of this country is still very religious and also can be swayed
Yeah.
very easily by the right people or the wrong people, really.
Yeah.
And so that scares me enough that I'm like, would I prefer that?
Right. I mean, it all comes down to how educated the society is, and we've done a good job of like limiting education. We've got people proposing shutting down public schools now.
Well, isn't it crazy that the Republicans have been so brazen lately about changing the education system to indoctrinate kids to their ways?
Yeah, yeah,
That is so scary.
and they're doing it. You know, in Florida, it's very it's taken on a lot of steam. You know, like DeSantis passed a lot of laws to. I think he's kind of cast out like African American studies, but he's pushed in Asian American studies. And Asian Americans are very nervous about this because like historically they've been the wedge between the white community and the black community and used as kind of a scapegoat. And you know, they feel like that's what's happening there, and it could lead to more hate crimes or something. You know.
Well, I guess like a law in, because not just in Florida, in I believe it's Ohio, a law was passed, but it's already being like challenged. And I have to assume like if it goes to the Supreme Court or whatever, it should get knocked down. But basically, it was this bill about like not saying teachers are not allowed to say anything. Their wording was like politically charged. So like they can't teach about global warming because like it's a political issue.
Wow.
They can't talk about like
It's only political because some people make it political.
right. They can't talk about like sexual orientation or like trans issues because it's political in nature. And so they're trying to use this like generalized language so like they're not totally blatant, but if you read between the lines, it's like, oh, they want just Republican
Yeah.
stuff fed to the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's crazy, man. But I mean, that's kind of how it's always been too. It's just, it's more blatant now. Like before, even like when I was in school, I knew that the education system was weird. Like, there were certain teachings I could see right through. Like that doesn't sound right. Slavery was not that good. Stuff like that. I grew up in Texas.
well, it's funny how like granular they'll get on things too, because I know a couple years ago there was a story where like, because there's people who basically approve the textbooks that are used in the classroom, and like for whatever reason, like is it maybe Texas or somehow Republicans have really got like sway over that
Yeah, it's
somehow.
Texas, yeah.
Yeah. And there was like in a one of the like books they proposed, it was a math book and there was a word problem that was just like in this year, like the amount of intergender marriages was this amount, and like it's been increasing at this rate, like at this rate, like how many of those marriages are interracial marriages will they be in this year or something? It was probably different from that, but it was essentially just a word problem, math problem like that. And like they shut down that question because they said it was like political or whatever. And it's like, geez, Lou, like it's so blatant,
Can't even, yeah.
They don't even want the notion of like
Don't want people thinking about
interracial
it.
marriage existing.
Yeah, there was like a I think a Honey Nut Cheerios commercial with like a black father and a white mother, and people lost their shit. But I think Honey Nut Cheerios was like, yeah, we're gonna keep running that commercial.
You know that great moment in Spider-Man: Homecoming, where like he's going to pick up his prom date who's black, and like you're surprised because her dad ends up being Michael
Oh yeah,
Keaton.
yeah.
Like I just think those people probably were watching that movie like, oh my god, like they weren't surprised, like they didn't even care that it was like the villain was her father. They're like, oh my god, he's married to a black woman.
He is evil.
Man, have you seen these idiots too lately that have been I guess like Target, like they've been selling like Pride T-shirts and things like that. So like, there's been these religious guys that go into Targets and like one of them started like pulling down like their signage and stuff, and like another guy was like going around like harassing customers, being like, "Hey, do you agree with the Satanist propaganda?"
Oh my god.
I saw that video and like, oh my
And it's
god.
the same people who are like, we gotta defend these stores from looters and rioters, and they're out there like vandalizing these stores.
Right.